Zoe Williams, and tonight is a special edition of The Voice of Reason. We're going to be covering the debate between Sarah Palin and Joe Biden, the Democratic and Republican vice presidential nominees. This is going to be the only time that these two people will get together and have a face-off, a debate. So really quickly, before we get into the debate, because we got about 5 minutes before they start, I want to do the round table of, we have our own Foxxhole political pundits in the building. Of course, the boss is in the building, Mr. Jamie Foxx.
I'm waiting for the joke. I am waiting to see Sarah Palin just blow up.
Yes.
Fuck it up.
It's no telling what this lady will say.
Yeah.
I mean, she is so nervous. And if it's any indication of what this debate is going to be, she can't even answer her name right now. Katie Kirk said, "What is your name?"
Well, I just have to get back to you on that. I mean, names are good. Names are good to follow because the lack of names, it's tragic. And you have to think about health care. And she just goes into.
They've coached this lady to just go to her strength, and for whatever reason, she goes to her strength when she really doesn't need to go to her strength.
What is her strength?
I don't really know, Johnny Mack. All I can say is that this makes me believe in the American dream.
Right.
Anything
Can
is
happen.
possible.
Right.
If this lady can run for president, and I was worried about my drug habits. I was worried about that maybe I couldn't, run for president because of the things in my past, and maybe
And
that
my drug habits.
the little plastic pony I had set up outside for my recreational purposes. I'm in the good right now because when I look at this lady, and if anybody's been following, they actually went to Alaska to see if they could see Russia. Not only if they could see Russia where they were from. It was 150 people that lived there. And this is actual numbers. It's 150 people that live on this island.
Right.
And what was amazing is they didn't even know who Sarah Palin was.
Wow.
Right.
They asked one of the guys, said, "Do you know who Sarah Palin is?" He said, "I have no idea." He said, "Well, she's running for vice president." He said, "I have no idea. I didn't know that."
They had no grocery stores.
They had no
nothing.
grocery stores. This is the place where she says that since she's been governing, that this equips her to govern.
That's her foreign policy knowledge.
Yeah,
right.
And then they asked him, "Well, are you nervous the fact that Russia's so close?" No, not at all.
Really, what is this?
These are people, and God bless them in Alaska. And what we don't want to do is we don't want to paint Alaska in a bad way simply because Sarah Palin is just so. It's so weird.
Yeah.
It's like I'm watching and I'm going, "There's no way this lady can be this bad." And I know McCain is going, "Shit!" Now, what's amazing was, and I don't know if this is true or not, but I heard that McCain actually Googled this lady to find out about
who she was.
Googled this lady.
He only met her one time.
The only time most of the time when you Google is I Google up Brazilian onionbooty.com.
Here we go.
That's the only time you Google somebody. You don't Google somebody to find out if they could be the vice president.
Yeah.
You Google to find out where numero unos is in your community.
And did you see when
That's Johnny Mack, ladies and gentlemen.
this Johnny Mack. Did you see when they was asking her about she reads so much and all the material she reads?
Here's what's
and they
amazing
said, "What's
to
your
me.
favorite news? What do you read? What newspaper?"
They asked
Couldn't even say
Katie
it.
Curry
She didn't
point blank, and this is a softball question. This is candy corn.
Right.
It's Katie Curry.
Softball.
This isn't Ed Bradley.
Right.
Yeah.
All day long.
You know what I'm saying? This ain't 60 Minutes.
Larry King.
And Jamie, did you see in the beginning, before she got picked, she was still on the news a little bit.
Right.
And remember, she came out and said, they asked her, they said, "What if John McCain picks you to be the vice president?" His nominee for vice president.
"Who is that?"
She said, "I wouldn't take the job until somebody explains to me
what a vice
exactly
president does.
what the vice president
That's
does."
right. That's right.
And what's really scary is
That's Louis Dix. We got 1 minute, really quick.
Real
Louis.
quick, well, think about it. John McCain picked her. He's also going to pick the rest of his cabinet.
Wow.
How scary is that?
And some Supreme Court judges.
Right. So you talking about this fool being able to pick
And not
the
only
Secretary
that,
of
but when Sarah Palin, Katie Couric, who's looking high, by the way, Katie Couric asked her, because she named any other Supreme Court
That's right. Judges.
cases.
Cases that she disagreed with.
That she disagreed with. And if anybody knows that, Republicans disagree with everything and everybody. This is right up your alley. This is a great time for you to show what your savviness on
your chops.
being and your chops on being a vice president. And she couldn't name one.
Wow.
Okay, who's messing with the chat?
Well, look, we got 1 minute left, and I want the listeners to understand that we're going to be here throughout the entire debate. The debate's moderator is Gwen Eiffel from PBS.
That's right.
So we're going to be here for the entire debate, and we're going to, weigh in from time to time. Again, Johnny Mack, the boss, Jamie Foxx, Lou Dix, and
I can't wait for them to ask her. The first question should just be right out the gate.
Name 3 states.
The first question should just be right. 2 + 2.
Well, when you think about,
you have to think about math.
you have to think about math. You have to go back and you have to think. Well, we're in crisis mode here. It's really crisis mode.
Oh, and one other person I have to introduce really quickly before this debate begins.
And
We have
still looking
Terri
good.
J. Vaughn in the building.
Hey,
This is
how
our
y'all?
panel. We will be weighing in, and we're going to be
short,
going
sexy
with
haircut.
to the vice president presidential debate in a few seconds.
Break up your marriage.
I know a great divorce lawyer.
I just want to break the marriage.
Gotta
up.
get no more
She
broken
said no more
marriages.
broken
No,
marriages.
please.
That hit a sore spot right there. She went, please, oh my God. Please, I can't.
You do look good, girl.
It's up.
Thank you, Mr. Dix. Thank you.
We're getting close, really close. And in a moment, they're going to throw to the debate. So I'm telling you, we're going to be here for the entire night. This is a special Voice of Reason. Got a whole bunch of wonderful people in the building tonight, and it's going to be on fire. Terry, what you think?
So, I think you're right.
Wolf Blitzer's always snazzy. Ain't
Yes,
Yeah, smash.
I wonder what he does.
An older Pat
other than
Riley.
that, does he hoop or something? I always see Wolf Blitzer
shuffleboard.
always knowing so much shit. I bet,
See how curly.
I bet he a hell of a bowler. Shit, he always
Does he
knowing
move?
some shit. I wonder if he could cabbage patch.
Centipede.
Because I always just see him in that setting. I wonder when he get wild, when he break loose.
RoboCop.
I wonder if
on
he
you.
goes raw.
Hysterical.
After he gets his
Merlot. At that age, you can't get
Wolf
that.
Blitzers did this to you. I bet he's an animal. I bet he's a beast with the
So it looks like we're coming into the debate right now.
Oh,
So stay
I can't
tuned.
wait to see the jokes.
Yeah, it's going to be
Hi,
something.
hey there.
And Tina Fey, hats off to Tina Fey, who is absolutely a superstar right now.
Here we go.
Here,
Yeah,
live feed.
okay,
Here we
We're
come
going
to
right
the
there.
live
I'm
feed.
about-
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back on the Voice of Reason. I know everybody was paying attention to every single word of this very important debate. The only debate between the two vice presidential candidates for that particular office. It was an incredible debate, and my crack team of comedic
Emphasis on crack.
right. My crack team of comedic and civilian political pundits are about to get into this because we're biting at the chomp to do it. Really quickly, I want to do a roll call. And let me just say, you're listening to the Foxxhole Sirius Satellite Radio Channel 106. I'm Zoe Williams. This is the Voice of Reason Special Edition. Really quickly, Masai, our black Republican.
Sleeping with the enemy.
Masai Bruner is the brother who's going to represent the Republican voice here. We also have legendary comic Michael Colyar in the building.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And, of course, sitting next to him is another legend. It's like the Mount Rushmore of comedy in this motherfucker.
Gang of dusty niggas.
Right? We got Louis Dix.
Hey, Zoe. Hey, bro.
Hey,
Glad to
man.
be here, man.
And, of course, my favorite, whenever she comes, I sit up straight. Ladies and gentlemen.
So does another part of it.
Oh, damn. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Terri J. Vaughn is in the building.
Yes, beautiful. Great
And, of
haircut.
course, one of my favorite people in the world, Johnny
Thank
motherfucking Mack.
Emphasis on motherfucking.
And the boss will be here shortly. That's Jamie Foxx. But really quickly, let's get into the debate. I'm going to start. Let's just throw it out there. Terry, who do you
Yeah.
think won the motherfucking debate?
Who won the motherfucking debate?
The motherfucking debate.
Biden definitely won the motherfucking debate. But Palin did better than I thought she was going to do.
Yeah.
I'm not hating on Palin.
Because we was expecting a disaster.
Yeah, I was.
So what's better than a disaster? A
bigger
fucking
disaster.
train wreck?
She wasn't horrible. She wasn't horrible.
First of all, she called him old Biden.
Oh, Biden.
She did mess up and call him old Biden.
Now that's and I see the Republican looking at me sideways. How worse can you get? You don't even know this guy's name.
Listen,
or was it just blatant disrespect?
No, it wasn't. And we have to be fair because Biden did make a little mistake. I mean, he had some stumbling over words and stuff.
Yeah, but he called her name.
He looked like a polished politician.
Well polished.
She looked like she was running for the Rose Queen court.
Yeah, this bitch was doing a reality TV show.
All
this
that
bitch
smiling was getting on my
winking
nerves.
into the camera, giving shout-outs and shit.
How to become a VP. My man Lewis.
Yeah, one of the things I noticed about her and Biden was really well versed in his detail. And it seemed to me like she had crammed. You know how you cram for a test?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you can only remember so many details.
Right.
Listen, you've been on Speedy's Comedy Corner with me.
No, I haven't.
I've been very critical of the political process. Right. Everybody knows that about me. I've been very critical about it. And this makes me want to go out and register and vote.
Right.
Because I'm saying anybody could just fall into the vice presidency. She didn't even know what the vice presidency was. Joe Biden broke it down.
Right.
It's in the First Amendment.
Right.
Explains the responsibility of the vice president.
Right.
She didn't know that. Masai, what do you have to say, man?
You need to take your earplugs out, man. You wasn't listening to what Miss Palin was saying.
I heard what
you said. Hilarious.
You guys were laughing and joking during while she was speaking.
No, get it right, bro. We were writing down. We were
taking
as Democrats, we can laugh and write at the same time.
Unlike you.
Now, you Republicans, y'all gotta lie.
And
That's
shoot
why you
your
only have
guns.
to listen once because you know that lie's gonna come 5 more times.
So did she once define what the vice president office represents? Did she know what it was?
Yeah, I mean, she pretty much answered every question that they threw at her.
You're doing just like she did.
I mean,
And
You
talk
on the
about
payroll?
something else.
Are you the black dude
Look.
that had her daughter's
That's
baby?
what I was gonna say.
Is that Kevin?
Masai, how old are you, brother?
I'm 31.
He's 31.
Now, in all fairness, did she break down? Did she define when she said that she would not be the vice president under no circumstances? And all of a sudden, she switched.
She did say that a few weeks ago.
She did
few months ago.
Well, she's been a nominee for like 5 weeks.
She's been learning
You see,
on the
I'm the only
job
Republican
how to
here,
be a vice president. She already said, I've only been at this for 5
minds.
weeks.
She said that.
No, it's not about being closed minds. It's about you all, just like they're trying to do, prove to us why we should get on your bandwagon based on everything that you guys have done in your whole Republican years.
So you mean to tell me that you don't believe that you've benefited from anything that any Republican has done?
Well, I mean, look at that question. Look how wide I could say the same thing to you. You haven't benefited from all the things the Democrats have done. No, let's get specific. Let's go back to the.
I would say no.
Let's go back to the
Okay,
front
what have
economics.
Democrats done?
Look, this.
Me too.
I would say no, that I have not benefited from anything the Republican has done.
And what-
I have benefited from the hard work of Johnny Mack.
Yes, America.
Hilarious.
Yes. Now,
And
first of all,
that's-
the
and
Republicans
that's
and
what
the
they're trying
Democrats.
to
No.
And the
I went to
Democrats does
public
not-
school. Okay, then I went to college, and then I got married. So you got to tell me the government controls everything. So as far as the government doing for me, no, I have to abide by the government.
And I went to
get things
continuation
done.
school.
Okay,
Then I went to jail.
So-
Then I got the Steers Radio.
So everybody, follow me real quick. I want to
Yeah,
run
see
around
how
the table.
calm I am?
I want to run around the
That's
table.
why I'm a Republican.
Hold on, Messiah. I want to run around the table and get everybody's quick point about what they think. Just 1 minute. Tell me what you think really quickly. And then I want to open the lines up. 877-2-106-106 is the number to dial if you want to participate. I'm going to start with Michael Colyar.
Ladies
Tell me what you think about this whole process
Ladies
and Sarah Palin, how she did, and versus Joe Biden and how he did. 1 minute. Tell me.
Well, I just like to say first, I thought Palin was stronger than I thought she was going to be, but she didn't have any answers. I mean, she didn't answer any questions.
Very cliche.
But she was very bubbly. Okay, so I gotta say that. I mean,
Yes.
even when she had the wrong answers, you betcha.
Yeah.
Darn
She sounded like a
right.
CNC machine.
You know, I mean,
Say it ain't so,
The
Joe.
crowd goes move.
her
That's
whole
the sound.
cheerleader effect thing is working. And Biden, I've just felt sorry that at one point he didn't just turn and say, "Shut up, bitch." And I was, but you can't do that and keep it political. But I think that she didn't know any of the answers, and I think that she really was versed on how to keep a smiley face, how to wink at the.
It was like a pageant,
and, have how to come off looking good, but she wasn't saying nothing.
She knew where the cameras were
and couldn't answer the question.
exactly. Terry, 1 minute.
Yeah, I think she had her script and she stuck to her script.
Mhm.
And so when they asked her questions that weren't necessarily on her script, she kept bringing it back to the script, and therefore she didn't answer all the questions.
I want to jump back
but
in,
she
but
also said that she doesn't have to answer the questions the way
She did say
the
that.
moderator
The way
asked.
you guys want me
Yes.
to answer the
And
questions.
I thought that was quite funny.
That was interesting.
I thought it was funny but ignorant. She needed to answer those questions.
Yeah, that's why
they
they
had
asked
a moderator.
Exactly.
Bitch.
When
So-
she couldn't answer, when she didn't even know the cause of climate change. Come
We
on
don't
now.
need to argue the causes.
Third graders know that one.
That's what she said. We don't need to deal with the causes.
Right.
Masai, you got a minute. Tell me what your basic, nutshell of how this debate went.
Well, I mean, Biden, if you listen to the words he was using, he used words that are very
was speaking
emotional
English.
to people. And when he throws out big numbers that people can't even relate to, 4 billion. I mean, come on. Since 2002, if you break it down, it's about 700 million a year.
You mean $600 billion to the oil companies?
To the oil
It was
That's how much
600
they make.
billion.
right?
The $4 billion was a tax cut that
See,
he
you
proposed.
fucking up just
Okay,
like her.
Listen.
Let him finish, y'all. Be fair.
7 billion a
This
year,
ain't
right?
Fox.
It takes a lot of money to operate these. I was watching the show the other day. It takes about $1 million a day just to run one oil rig. That's $365 million a year to run that. You have the cooks. These are a lot of people that are being employed that spend money at the stores. It's the big picture that you guys are not listening to. You guys listen to all the emotional words that they're throwing out there, and you guys are reacting to them. That's all.
But wait. With the Republicans
You're not a
spending
good defender of
$3,000 for a damn hammer, it's no wonder the shit costs $1 million a day.
But-
the Republicans have ran the price of everything up in these last 8
check
years,
this out.
brother.
When you have a profit, okay, when you have a profit, it's either your profit is going to either go to Uncle Sam or you're going to spend it on lifestyle.
It's going to Bush.
So there's only so many toys you can buy, so it's just the opposite.
So you can't get no
wait.
more houses.
So-
12
so
houses is
Michael-
all you can have.
So, Michael and Masai, hold one second. Louis Dix, you got a minute.
Let me speak to as far as the emotional part, what you were saying. I think you all started the emotional part way back when Piper was licking the baby's head, the family. So let's talk about emotions. When you talk
Hey,
about
I lick
no,
my
no, no,
son's
let me
head.
no, let me
Give me his minute.
Let me talk about
You licked your son's head.
and that's
I
what's
mean, I
funny.
kiss my
That's
son's
what's
head.
funny. You all, whenever there's something, you'll go to your personal thing that she tried to do, and then Biden flipped it and said, "Don't tell me what I'm talking about. I raised 2 kids by myself."
So
You
she
all
had
think-
green skin and she an alien. She's a human being.
No, wait. You
Give him his
again,
minute. Give him his
again.
minute,
I saw
Masai.
a human being.
Again, Messiah, I'm not saying
saw
she's not a
aliens.
human
Saw
being.
idiots.
See, that's what I'm saying. You keep trying to act like things we say are so ignorant. That's what Republicans do. Let's go back to the
That's
central
what politicians
banking.
do.
Yeah, actually, let's go back to the central banking that's happening right now with you all, J.P. Morgan, Rothschild, what they started way back in 1907. 1907, and then they had it in 1920, and then 1929, and we're back at the same place. So your point about what has Republicans done for me, what has Democrats, we're talking about the government. So let's just put it together. What has the government done for us except hurt us, pull us back? So if we have 2 choices, we're going to take the best choice.
Hey,
Now, both
Well,
got
my man
challenges.
said
that's
right
that
here.
old. That's that old
He is where he's
euphemism.
at.
We choose between 2 evils.
The
we choose
lesser
the
of 2
lesser
evils.
of
Hey,
2
yes.
evils.
but you know what? Look, just like my man said right here, he's
Johnny
where he's
Mack.
at
Johnny Mack.
because of what he did. What he did, his hard work for himself.
Right.
But you just didn't agree with that when he said that.
I did agree with
No,
that.
you were saying, oh, that's not true.
No, listen to me.
Okay, go ahead.
You made me lose.
You need
my
some
train
water
of
or
thought.
something?
I do
Listen.
need some water.
Nigga,
Look
mom,
at your nose.
drive
He's
the
having a Palin moment.
Yeah, you had a Palin
A
moment.
Palin moment.
I mean,
Masai Palin.
but Masai, I have a question for you, and it's not about just ganging up on the Republican
It
brother
is.
in the
That's what
room.
it's about.
But let me
It
just
is.
because everybody knows.
I'm glad you came.
Everybody knows I'm on the fence with it because I got my issues with the political system, and I'm just looking at it, and it just to me it feels like let's get a dumb person who the average American can see is not qualified for this particular office, so we can get this other guy in office. That's what it looks like to me.
No one
I
walks
thought
into
I think they picked her for the sympathetic vote as a ploy to like all the women
Well,
that
he
was on
fumbled.
all
Look.
the women that was on
This is
Hillary's
Hillary's
side.
side.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I'm gonna get this dumb motherfucker on my side.
Long as she's a woman.
Long as she's a woman.
Absolutely.
They gonna go for the dumb
Look,
shit.
this is politics,
Well,
man.
here's
You
Johnny
gotta play
Mack's
the game.
minute since they gave everybody some minute. I didn't get mine, and I know this is those shows.
Go on, take your minute,
The
Johnny
voice of
Mack.
reason.
Get your minute, Johnny.
That's what I did in my whole life. I take what I want.
Go on, Pippin.
There was a key word that Biden kept bringing up, and he said deregulation.
Yes.
So what I decided to do for people that didn't understand how Bush and McCain is for deregulation. It is a process by which the government removes, reduces, or simplifies restriction on businesses and individuals with the intent of encouraging efficient operations of market.
Right.
So when you are for deregulation, Well, you don't want nobody to have any rules or regulations over the oil process, over OPEC or Halliburton or whatever you want to call it, whatever it was over. You are saying, I'm going to make sure the rich stay rich and the poor don't get a fucking thing. Because you're not for, it's almost like.
You mean to tell me this, wait, this is America. The poor can raise up from anywhere out here. I've seen it.
Hilarious.
My man.
That's called the hustle.
You believe
my man.
That's when you get your hustle
and that's
on.
true because there's never
There's
no
a lot of laws.
there's no absolutes in America in society. But what happens is
taxes.
no. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
It just doesn't make any sense to me that we got an actress playing the role of a politician. That's what bothers me.
A bad
You
actress.
can
Why? Because
see.
she's from a
she's
small
good actor.
town.
No, brother, no.
Business
it
principles
doesn't take a genius. If you
apply to anywhere you're at, whether you're a small business or you're a large corporation, business principles apply no matter whether you're small government, a small city, or whether you're a large city like LA. It's just bigger
That's not
numbers.
true. That's not true.
It's
That's
just
not true.
If you
look,
listen,
the example. Look, let me give you an example. It's just like, all right, just say you're broke. You only make say $50,000. All your bills going out to debt, right? But then you have a person that makes $1 million a year, but 999,000 of that money is going out to debt.
He's an idiot.
He just broke on a higher level. That's it. It doesn't matter. Business principles.
No.
No. Nigga, no.
Well, you're
Nigga,
just
broke is broke. If you got
Masai.
$35, I got $35. Broke is
Masai,
broke.
you are justifying someone who is clearly unqualified.
Now,
You
you
are
don't-
justifying.
unqualified.
But she's not. Anybody can tell you that.
Why,
How
because
do
you don't know her?
Listen, how do you
You don't
cram?
know her.
No, listen to me.
McCain met her.
Nobody wanna make that
McCain met her
judgment
one
on
time, and
Everybody.
then he had to Google this bitch. He only met her one time,
Right.
and then he appointed her vice president. So McCain don't know her.
And
So
right,
therefore,
he wanted somebody that was going to shake up everything.
Nah,
Her
man,
whole
listen.
podium speech is about her being a soccer mom.
first of all,
How you
we on the
gonna
West Coast.
say-
We don't play hockey.
I don't want a hockey or a soccer mom to be my
come on.
president.
So look,
That's
That's just her.
ridiculous.
So look,
Wait,
one second, really
Exactly,
quickly.
that's her life experience.
Really-
That's the problem.
Niggas don't even play
so,
hockey.
So everybody, really quickly, we're
Being
going to
a
go to
parent.
a clip of Sarah Palin during the debate.
Oh boy.
We should go play some birds.
Clip it on.
And I want to let you know what I did as a mayor and as a governor. And I may not answer the questions the way that either the moderator or you want to hear, but I'm going to talk straight to the American people and let them know my track record also.
See, come on.
How dumb was that?
I,
I'm gonna ask you a question. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna answer it any way I want to. Fuck what you just asked me. So you asked me was 2 times 2. I'm gonna talk about the birds and the bees.
Right.
No, nigga, we asked you a fucking question.
That was
That's
some
why
dumb,
this
that
young
was
lady,
some dumb shit.
That's
I'm
why
just
the lady who had broke her ankle endured the pain and the anguish to come down there to ask you motherfuckers, and she well prepared some questions so we can all answer them.
But
you
see-
can't get up on a fucking podium and just say, you know what? I'm just gonna give you what. This is
All
what the
right,
American
but see,
people
Tell me
want.
this. What do
Johnny
you think
Mack,
about Condoleezza Rice?
hold on.
What?
Okay.
Well,
I think
she's a Republican.
I think she need a perm.
We sitting here talking about the debate tonight. He's talking about Condoleezza Rice.
Right.
That's
You
that
are a
Republican.
I thought the nigga said shrimp
Sure.
fried rice. I didn't
It's
hit
like this. No one is born. Okay, when you get a new job, okay, no one. That's your first time. You're gonna get experience by when you start, and over time. How come you
No, you
guys
can't
not
on the
They
getting
job
trained?
hire you according to your qualifications and
Look
what
at-
you know about the job.
All right. That's
true, too.
They're not
Wait,
going to
you
hire
can-
me to start jackhammering
All right,
down
so-
the fucking bridge. I've never done that. They're
Wait
going
a
to hire
minute.
me in the right of the college.
Right. You don't walk
capacity.
into Microsoft and they make you a developer.
Right, one of the
Right off the
vice
top.
president.
Exactly.
Vice
So you're
president is such
contradicting
a
yourself.
high job that you're supposed to bring somebody
Vice
who's qualified.
president.
Right.
It's
You
a
don't just
business.
bring in somebody
This
who
country
might
is a
be able to
business.
cut it.
So everybody,
Yeah, that's monkey business.
so
you talking
everybody,
about.
bring it down to taste.
This
We're going to
country
go
is a
to
business. It's
bring it
about
down
money,
to
right?
taste.
It's all about money, right?
Masai, bring it down to taste because
Capitalism.
you've already proven
For
that you don't know what the
Republicans,
fuck you're
wait,
talking
for
about.
Republicans,
We're going to
that's
go
true.
to Jeffrey.
It's all about money for Republicans.
We're going to go to Jeffrey from Ohio because Masai's pissing me off with the dumb shit.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey, chime in on this.
Help us, Jeffrey.
Hey, Jeffrey.
All right, well, this is one thing that I found out. When she got stuck, she kept reverting back to what she did in Alaska,
Amen.
her energy. Other than that, she had no real answers for some of the questions. So she would revert back to those. Well, in Alaska and the energy policy, you know. And another thing, when she ran for governor, what a lot of people don't know is the mayor's position was open. She left the mayor with a $28 million debt. So
See,
what is she
that's
talking
information,
They have a
about?
Masai.
surplus there. But what last I heard, they have a surplus in Alaska. So what are you talking about?
Do you
Not in
from
the mayor's
Inglewood.
office,
You ain't
though.
been up to that cold
You
spot.
on the general organization.
Bullshit.
Come on.
Yo, really quickly,
Come on, play fair.
Jeffrey, I want to thank you for the call because that information was,
Yeah, the state,
was
not the
very
city.
needed in this conversation. My thing is, politics is about emotional fervor. They whip you up. They say all the things you want to hear to get you all riled up for a particular candidate. And if we break down each candidate, you're going to find inconsistencies in what they said a month ago, a week ago, a year ago, right? So the bottom line is, if you're a voter and you want to participate in this process, you have to look for unbiased sources of information so you can make informed decisions with regards to choosing a candidate. Okay. I'm not just going to vote for Barack Obama because he's black.
I am.
I am too.
Let me just finish. I feel good about a black man being at the precipice of becoming the most powerful man on planet Earth.
You know what, I got to address that. Wait a minute, Maverick. I got to address this.
Maverick!
Let me address this for a second.
Call Messiah Maverick.
I do have issue, and I want to take issue with that because no one else is really saying it. And I do take issue with black folks who don't want to vote for the brother. And I think that because this black man is running, that this is the one time in our lives where we look past all this so-called partisan bullshit. The partisanism we should be looking at is blackism. Black people will never have this opportunity again, and every black person should line up. When white folks run for something, every white person line up. Hispanics line up for Hispanics. Black people, we got to separate and decide whether we like a brother or not.
But Michael Colyar, that's the beauty of America, that we have the right to decide. And I love your comment, but more important than voting for the black is the Democrat. We got to vote Democratic across the board, because the Republicans, what I do commend y'all on, whatever the fucking, it could be a goat running for something. If it's a fucking Republican, the motherfucking Republicans run with it. So we have to run with the Democrat. Well, that is bigger than.
So on that note, hold real tight. I'm going to come to you, Lewis Dix, right after this. Okay. We have Staff Sergeant Boatwright from North Carolina on the phone. Could you weigh in, Staff Sergeant?
Boatwright. Frank, how y'all doing? How y'all doing, family?
What's up, bro?
Holla at me. It's Jamie Foxx.
I'm going to tell you bottom line. This administration and these clowns that's trying to go after it, all of them full of shit. I'm voting for Barack because Barack is the only one that got a plan. Yes, they sent my ass home from Afghanistan. You guys, I called you from Afghanistan. They sent my ass home from Afghanistan to send my ass to Iraq in March. These motherfuckers don't know shit about diplomacy. There was McCain that screamed and hollered about, well, we're going to be just needed as liberators and this, that, and the other. That's why the body count is up high. That's why last week we lost a total of 23 people over in Afghanistan. That's why the body count now is over 100 for the month in Iraq. These motherfuckers are Sarah Palin. Let's get the facts straight. We're talking about the United States, not Alaska. We don't have black people in Alaska.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay? So let's get to the facts. She has a... You still there?
Yes.
She's got a mentally challenged child. Her sister has one that's 13, and she didn't decide to want to be an advocate for them until she had her child. Come on, that's bullshit.
Now, where did you get that information?
Wow.
Well,
let me thank the caller.
But what I can say is this for the caller: when a caller comes in and he's actually in the suck, and he's actually out there doing it, it's respect. Wherever he got the information from, he got the information because he's hurting right now, and he wants people to know about it. And for shows like this, we give him an opportunity to speak. I mean, this guy is giving you what it really is,
the truth,
not what the politics are talking about.
Yeah.
If you think about it, all McCain is doing is trying to win an election,
right?
And I understand that, but what I want people to understand is that that's what he's trying to do. At the same time, Barack Obama is trying to win an election. It just happens to be that the righteousness is on his side. It's because when you think about it, anybody that sees what Republicans do, every administration that you've had as Republican, we have to tear down and then we have to build up. If it's 8 years of Reaganomics, you know about Reaganomics.
Right. Trickle down.
Now, if you know about trickle down, we suffered then, and now we're suffering almost to the brink of a Great Depression.
Right.
We got the internet.
Wow. Wait a minute.
We can send people. Listen, wait a minute. We can send people. We can send people to the moon, and we're having a Great Depression. The reason being is because the philosophical differences of how Republicans look at it. Republicans look at it like this: get it for yourself if you can. But a lot of people, what they're not telling you is that those Republicans had families that were well off, who had families that were well off, who had families that were well off.
And you know
so
what?
they've never. So when I talk to a person that's a Republican that's not making $1 million a year, that's not making over $2 million a year. When I talk to a Republican that's making less than $100,000 a year, It's ridiculous.
Absolutely.
Because nothing about what Republicans are saying to you.
So you're saying that because I don't make over $1 million a year,
He's our
that's not
resident
my
Republican.
future?
Oh, I didn't even know. He's a Republican?
Yes. Jamie Foxx, let me introduce you to my
So you're
side.
saying I'm supposed to
Oh, shit. We have a black Republican.
I've already gave it to him, Fox.
Hey, you see, guys?
That's what I wanted to do. Don't worry.
Okay, and
Mind
here's
you, I'm the only one of 30 people in here.
But here's the thing,
Bushwhack.
and I respect you because you're in America and you can do what you want to do. I got one word for you: diversity. Diversity. When you watch the DNC, there were black people, there were Hispanic people, and there was not just a few of them. There was everybody. Republicans have never even reached out to you. When I see black people that are Republicans, they suffer from Massachusetts type of situations.
Right. Oh yeah.
Because the thing about it is this:
don't smile.
Because at the same time, because I'm gonna tell you something. I'm gonna tell you like this: after they're finished with this debate, and those few black people that they had there, that they had the cameras on, they couldn't even come to dinner with you.
Bam.
You wouldn't even be able to go to a movie with you. Not only that, I'll break it down even further. You can't come to my church.
Bam.
And how many churches do you see that are segregated? I talk about this all the time.
Right.
We had this fundamental conversation the other night. Okay. We were saying they were Christians. When you look at this supposedly Christian nation, but when you look at what Republicans have never done, they've never reached out to Hispanics. They've never reached out to black people. They don't care. They don't care anything about minorities. Well, I'll let
they only look out for the elite Republican.
And I'll tell you this.
Look, the few rich people that I know, that I personally know, I've learned a lot of business principles from these people. So how can you sit there and say that? I haven't had no one pull. I had a black Republican actually is the one who introduced me to politics. He took me around. I grew up in Inglewood. I didn't know nothing about it.
Oh my
about
God!
What was outside,
he's a Republican.
Right? No, let me finish.
Republican.
And what he did, he took me around to the neighborhoods surrounding me, and I'm like, "Whoa, Austin Martin, a used Austin Martin, $120,000. What? A used car?" And he opened my eyes to what was really out there, and then he showed me this is how rich people are doing it. You know, and it was this basic
I want you to
stuff.
No, wait.
Republicans,
I want you to keep on. Wait a minute.
He explained to me about how taxes work. I mean, just everything. And so then I started seeing that, you know what, being rich is my ultimate goal. So then I can bless other people around
let him
me.
Keep talking.
That's the reason. My whole purpose of wanting a lot of money is so I can bless people around me.
Okay, now listen. Now listen to what he says. He says that being rich is what I want to be. And I'm glad that you said that. I'm glad that you're a Republican and saying that. I had a fundamental conversation with a black guy who was a Republican, and he was a lawyer. And all he talked about was money.
Right.
He said, money this, money that.
It's a tool.
Hold on, but listen. Money money that. All he talked about was money. And I said, that's great. And I sat and I listened to him, and he talked about how Barack wasn't shit, and he talked about it, and I didn't say a word. And all he talked about was money. And I said, player, drug dealers have more money than you.
Bam.
There's a drug dealer right now with $15 million in his fireplace.
That's right.
Drug dealers,
dress better than you, better cars.
Crime bosses, they have more money than you. It cannot be just about money.
Yeah.
That is the problem. Listen, what I'm saying. But this is what you told me. But this is what you told me. You told me this.
It should be a motivation. That's how you survive.
But as you were listening, as I was listening to
food right here that you guys been eating was bought with
you're
money.
missing the point.
Yes.
It's not about money.
Necessity.
It's not about money.
And it has been his focal point.
At the end of the day, it's about opportunity. That's what it is about. Not opportunity. The opportunity to make whatever you want of your life. When you squeeze out the middle class,
and that's why the tax laws. That's why
listen
you
what I'm
give
saying.
Tax
When you squeeze out,
create opportunity.
all I can tell you is this:
when I start a business, if I start a business and I employ 20 people, I'm creating opportunity for people to feed their family. All kind of stuff. I mean, it's a bigger picture than just money. Money is the tool that we use to purchase things and expand our life.
Now you know what you sound like? You sound like a Democrat.
Yeah, you sound like a Democrat. Before
because here's the problem. Here's the problem. Because Republicans outsource jobs. What jobs are Republicans bringing here to the states right now?
So
$700 billion go outside of that because why? They want to make
tax break.
You know what? They want the tax break.
That's why
at the end of the day,
big companies a tax break.
Are you kidding me? What about the little people?
So let's do this.
Why would you get a lot of the big companies that
listen what I'm saying.
A lot of the companies that leave the country because
you know why?
Cheaper.
Because it's cheap labor. And so what you've done is
put me out of work.
No, wait a minute. What you've done is you've put the little person out of of work. When you call somebody now, when you want to talk about your bank, somebody from India answers. Because of this same mentality. Now what you've done is this. You don't have anybody working in America now.
Bam.
Is that where you want to live? Now, the fundamental question is that where you want to live?
If you didn't tax the large corporations,
the fundamental question is that where you want to live? We could talk the political jargon all you want to, but middle class people are homeless and in the street.
So again, this is a fiery conversation. The
I didn't know this nigga was a Republican.
Yes, I can do this. The RNC, out of the 3,000 delegates that the RNC had at their convention, only 25 were black. That speaks to the diversity thing that Jamie brought up.
You know what? Forget about black people right now. Let's talk about middle class white people that don't have anything. Let's talk about middle class white people up and down my street, down where I live. 250,000 people got laid off because they took the jobs and they sent it overseas. 250,000 people. Now here's the thing. Now you got people up and down the street, mortgage, up and down the street, foreclosures. At the end of the day, is what America's built about is me looking out for this guy, him looking out for her. That's what America is really about. America don't stand. If you make it the way you want to make it, it's a big third world country. You're going to make it where the rich have everything, and the poor have nothing.
People that are having the issues accountable for their own actions.
Listen, a Republican philosophy is get all you can while you can, and that's why we suffer.
Wait, and he started your conversation in with the same type of ideology that Republicans have. You start out by saying, first of all, if you're really poor, like you only get $50,000. $50,000. Man, I know people could live like a king if they had $50,000, pimp. For you, that's poor. And then when they talk about all the money, man, I'm telling you, the Republicans about the cash. Give me that cash. Only the rich gets richer.
It's all about your habits and what you do with your money, man.
It's impossible.
It's like this.
What can I do with the money if I don't
I have a friend that they purchased a home, right? It was $350,000. I knew that person from Jumpstart couldn't afford it. But just because you qualify for $350 don't mean you need to buy $350 if it's out of your.
All I can tell you is like this: you go to a car dealership, right? They're gonna get you in that car.
If you have to rent
if you go to a car dealership, they're gonna get you in that car. If you go to get a house, you want a house. People want a house. People want somewhere to live. Predator lenders. Even Sarah Palin talked about that. Predator lenders. They knew they couldn't afford that, but they got them anyway because they want to get that money. That's what it's about.
Twice.
All I can tell you is this. Now look at it. Look at what Republicans have done for this past 8 years, and this is what you want to be a part of. You're telling me that George Bush? You're telling me that George Bush is a great leader?
Other than the war being mishandled.
No, they ain't even talking about the war. Let's talk about economics. You're talking about a guy who didn't even have a passport before he became president.
Wow. See, now you got
and got DUI.
And
then you're defending Sarah Palin, who just a few weeks
ago
got
a passport.
Just got a passport.
If you know anything about money, you should want somebody that's world traveled.
Right.
So you can talk about money on a different level. The internet connected all of us to everything.
Right.
But she does have world knowledge. She can see Russia. She
got world eyesight.
And Masai, listen, and again, no more than 2 or 3 weeks ago, she went on a field trip to the UN just to meet people. Because they don't know her.
And you're talking
she's not a player.
And if you watch
she didn't know what the vice president office was.
Biden kept saying, well, it's nice to finally meet you. It's nice to meet you.
Wow. My whole thing is like this.
She's about to be vice
Thank God that Sarah Palin is not running for president. McCain is running for president. He voted for Bush 90% of the time because I'm going to tell you something. That's what Republicans do.
What about Obama?
What about Obama?
With his party.
What about him?
What about
I vote with my party.
Any toes, especially when it's
I vote with my party too. I vote Democrat. I fly my colors just like anybody else.
Right.
But when you look at
if they do something wrong or say something wrong, I mean,
it comes down to this. Wait, hold on.
You know what? They were wrong about that.
Well, let me explain something to you. You're talking about, do I vote with people that do wrong? What about yourself? You can't even see the Republicans are doing wrong and have done wrong.
8 years.
You're going to tell me that George? You don't tell me that George Bush has run this country to the ground.
To the ground.
And when you travel, do you travel?
Yeah, a little bit.
Where the last place you been?
Watts. Damn. Inglewood to Watts. The Staples Center.
Seriously.
Where the last place you been?
Frisco.
So you never been out of
Frisco?
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Travel. Okay.
I'm not talking somewhere Southwest can get you.
Wait, nigga. He ain't trying to leave the country.
Nigga, I'm not talking about get the sack lunch with the apple and the good crackers.
Look. And what's happening right now? A lot of people, as far as like my own personal finance and things I do for my son and my family, a lot of people are going to agree with and are living what I'm doing. Okay. Every day. But the thing about it, when you have people ganging up, most people out there are Democrats out there. And a lot of people are afraid.
Most people are Republicans.
No, they're not.
Listen,
most are Republicans.
Most people are afraid. What are you talking about? 97% of America, it's only 3% of America is wealthy, okay? And then 97% of the rest of America is broke.
You're Republican.
Hey, listen to my point. Come on. 97% of the world is broke, right? So everybody blames everybody else for why they're in their situation. So everybody is Democrat. Trust me.
That's not even.
Most
true.
people.
No, we're blaming you. We're not blaming everybody else. We're blaming the Republicans.
Louis Dix.
More registered voters are Republican.
Let me tell you something that I've been listening to you, bro. It's interesting. You said that Republican took you around and showed you the prices of cars and all that.
No.
You know,
He was just showing me.
Okay, he was showing you. But let me show you what a
out there.
Democrat would have done. He would have took you to the federal building to get you a passport and take you out of this country so you can see the whole picture.
Hey,
Bam.
Yo,
Yo, now, really quickly.
That was probably in the making.
I got somebody
That was
just
in
brought
the
up. Somebody just brought it to me, and you talk about Republican. Senator John McCain didn't even want Martin Luther King Jr. as a holiday.
Arizona.
Massa, we sick.
Wow.
We sick, Massa.
So
Wow.
really,
5 times.
so group.
And he said that he didn't believe
Gotta make
that
our
Martin Luther King was really all that significant.
Bam. That's true.
Martin Luther King, nigga, I'll stick a dog on you.
So
I hit a water hose. I hit a water hose right now.
You know what?
And
That's
go find me a white man from Georgia and whoop your ass.
Hey, you know what?
So
And
panel-
whoop your Republican ass.
So
Things are a
panel.
lot different
I'm gonna
now
get you
from
a
back in the
German
day.
Shepherd. I'm gonna get you a German
Things
Shepherd.
are a
We
lot
still
different from back
overcome
in the
CD.
day, man.
So panel.
Back in the day, that was just a few years ago.
Look, think about it.
Did he say back in the day?
Wait.
With what's happening?
You asked me. Wait a
This guy's a
minute. Wait a minute. You asked me.
Look, so what's happening in Iraq right now, maybe 20, 30 years from now, my son will be able to visit there. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
What?
Visit where?
What are you doing?
Listen.
Why?
I'm saying the things that are
Why are
happening.
you even here with that?
Shouldn't you go to Frisco first?
Let me finish.
We've been letting you.
We keep letting you finish.
you won't
never
never
finish.
finish. I'm saying it wasn't as good as it is right now.
I'm about to.
This a Palin parallel.
It wasn't as good as it is for us, for black people now, as it was 40 years ago. With time, you will see that things will change, and we will have a lot more freedom.
Wait.
Every day, we have more freedom and more
Stop.
freedom to do things.
So really
That's what
quickly,
I'm saying.
Wait.
So really quickly,
You guys just don't see the big picture. I
Here's
see
the
way
history.
down.
Yeah.
I'm
I
looking
see
at
the
my
big
son.
noose.
right. Here's the history.
Yeah.
Black folks used to be Republicans. The Dixiecrats used to be the one preventing blacks from voting. Lynching and all of that stuff was happening to prevent them from voting by the Dixiecrats. The conservative Democrats switched to become Republicans because they felt Lyndon Baines Johnson was too liberal. This is when most black folks switched from being Republican and became Democrats. So the history started as black people where you are now being Republicans. But you have to remember that term Republican, it comes from the word Republica. It means of and for the people. So again, these people that you're representing right now are not about the people.
Listen,
They're about themselves.
can I weigh in on this? Republicans do nothing of what they preach about. Republicans are evangelicals mostly. They talk about being about like God and Jesus like.
Right.
There's nothing that they do like Jesus.
At all.
Jesus was a community organizer.
Bow.
Jesus was a carpenter.
Bow.
Jesus wasn't making 100 shillings a year.
The bloom. Yes, sir.
Jesus wasn't
So you mean
living.
to tell me-
Wait a minute. Jesus wasn't living in a big, nice digs.
Wasn't
Certainly not
Nicodemus.
12 of them.
12,
for
exactly.
sure.
He
Jesus,
wasn't Nicodemus.
exactly.
Right.
Jesus wasn't
Exactly.
Nicodemus. Think about it. Everything that they talk about, they're nothing like. When I listen to a person that's not making, I could understand if you were Republican and you were over the age of 55. And you were making $2-3 million
Right.
a year. I could understand that.
Right.
But when I hear a person talk about they're Republican and they don't make any money, Republicans are the reason why you're not making any money.
What's really cool about this guest is that he's a Palin parallel. He don't know what the hell he's talking about either. But he goes about out and joyfully.
Right.
So you guys,
wink in and give a shout out.
The reason why people don't want to admit that they're Republicans by heart.
Because there's something ugly, and you don't want people to know.
So Terry,
it's just when you got people ganging up on you.
Oh,
look, I'm the only one invited. How come I don't have?
You should have came better prepared.
Well, all I can tell you,
you should have knew what the vice president was all about.
When I was asleep last night.
That's the Republicans. Don't be lazy. Get your ass up.
I'll put it to you this way: the fundamental thing about me is that the way I think about America and the way I think about people, there's a certain amount of compassion you have to have. If you don't have it, that's cool. Like when I talked to the dude that was a lawyer, he just didn't have it. He said, "Fuck the other dude. I'm trying to make my money." Right. I respect that, but understand that the way he thinks and the way Wall Street thinks. That's the reason we're in the situation that we're in now.
Corporatism, fascism, that's what it is.
Fuck the man, get the money. Fuck the man, get the money.
So now we're in a situation where it don't matter if you're Republican or Democrat. Everybody's hurting right now. Because a couple of people living next to me are selling their horses and their planes.
Bam.
Because I'm telling you, because people were so greedy. And that's what you have to protect against. That's what the democratic process protects against. More regulation for these big companies that feel like they could just do whatever they want to do, rape the system, and after they rape the system, everybody else is just left to fend for themselves. And you see, listen, you're about to have a Great Depression.
Wow.
Right.
Nigga.
Do you know what the Great Depression is?
Financial 911.
So all the money that you're talking about is not even there.
Wow. And what's funny
and if you know anything about the $700 billion, the only thing they're doing is the federal government is just going to print more money.
That's it.
So that drives the dollar value down even further.
And we all know the
How
Federal
much
Reserve.
is the dollar worth right now?
Palin.
Look, can we get some more callers up in here?
28.
Okay, I'm gonna take it off.
Let's see.
Let's have some Republicans callers.
Yeah, 877-2-106-106 is the number to dial. You're listening to a special edition of The Voice.
Who did the best in the debate?
And
Biden.
Somebody called Joseph C. Phillips.
877-2-106-106 is the number to dial. Please call in if you want to participate. Jamie Foxx.
Yes.
Terri
this was
J.
Biden's best.
Lou Dix.
I've never seen Biden this great.
Yeah, he was.
And you know what? I know he wanted to say at one point, "Bitch, what are you talking about?"
Are you talking about Biden or Biden?
He said it subconsciously. He did.
I know because he was looking at her like, and he really let her just do her thing and have a night. And I think he did the great thing by.
He was a gentleman.
He was a gentleman.
And Johnny Mack.
I think they did her wrong.
How about when she said, "Don't say it ain't so, Joe"?
Yeah, I think. But you know what?
Don't make it bitch.
I think. God, I think the Republican Party did Sarah Palin an injustice
by turning her loose in front of people.
Yeah, they shouldn't have done that.
But she has to.
Because she's not prepared.
But it doesn't matter. She has to be prepared, or she just not be.
But I don't understand the tactic of why you would put someone who is that vulnerable to attack in that position.
Well, you see, they did try to postpone it. You saw McCain. He tried to postpone the whole debate, his and hers. He tried to push them back.
Right, and she was just at McCain's house. One of his houses that he don't know how many he had, but one of the houses he owned, and getting schooled to be the vice president. How foolish is that?
A job she said she would never take.
But what could be scarier than knowing that as old as this guy is, he could drop dead at any moment?
And then she's the
stuck with that, with Palin, who don't even have an answer for simple questions.
That's not going to happen.
She can't even tell you what magazine she just read.
I was a little. It was something she said that really threw me because she said we don't want to start waving the white flags as far as getting out of
surrender.
But what was interesting to me is like she's okay not waving the white flag, but we can have flags on these coffins that keep coming back.
Everybody, really quickly, we want to go to a quick clip of Sarah Palin and what she said in the debate. Let's go to clip number 5. Let's see what we got.
So, Governor, as Vice President, there is nothing that you have promised as a candidate that you wouldn't take off the table because of this financial crisis we're in?
There is not, and how long have I been at this? Like 5 weeks? So there hasn't been a whole lot that I've promised except to do what is right for the American people, put government back on the side of the American people, stop the greed and corruption on Wall Street, and the rescue plan has got to include that massive oversight that Americans
expect. They go to training camp longer than
and I don't believe that John McCain has made any promise that he would not be able to keep either.
You go to mini camp, then you go to training camp. Then you have preseason in football.
Then you have mandatory.
Then you have voluntary camp.
She says, I don't know, how long have I been at this? 5 weeks?
35 days.
I'm having a ball.
Yeah. Right.
That's right when she winked.
All I can say is this. I will give you respect for sticking to your guns as a Republican.
No question.
But even as a Republican, Sarah Palin's got to scare you a little bit.
Even your own party. They're members of your own.
She was what? She didn't stutter. She did.
It's not about stuttering.
Hey.
It's the
You said she was
content.
polished?
What about the part when she spoke on Biden's wife, who was a school teacher, and she said, about the money, whatever. Yeah, well, she would get her reward in heaven. What the fuck?
Oh, man. That was low, man.
Am
That
I
was
right?
low.
Did y'all remember that? Ladies,
Hey,
remember
they were
she
going
ain't
back
getting
and forth
nothing
at each
here.
other. Come on.
Wow.
And 53% of the people who saw the debate say that Palin is not qualified to be the vice president. What do you think of that, Messiah?
Make it 54%.
Wait, 46% says she's not qualified to speak in public.
I mean, if the Katie Couric interview was
Wow.
not enough.
Wow.
Whoa, stutter mama.
Wow.
Come on. If you want to talk
on, get
about
some Republican
stutter,
callers.
You know what?
I'm gonna get on your side for a while.
877-2-106-106 is the number to dial. If you want to join in this conversation, Jamie Foxx, Louis Dix, Michael Collier, my man Messiah, the Black Republican, Johnny motherfucking Mack,
Black
and Terri
Republican.
J.
That's a
Vaughn.
whole. That's an
new
animated series.
It's the Black Republican.
Oxymoron.
Black Republican.
And he's only in his third.
Don't be
I know, but
afraid.
let's
Call
give him a
up.
question.
Tune in next week
You
with
guys
Coon
call up.
Johnson.
Don't be afraid.
Messiah, I'm gonna throw you a question.
Don't be afraid, you guys. Come on.
Give us
Call
two
up.
things, Messiah. Give us two things that the Republicans have done to help middle class America.
Or you.
I mean, and they spoke on this as the class war
Well, I mean,
during the debate.
Give me two. All right, give me 1.5.
for anyone who wants to take advantage of free enterprise business or anything like that, it's already etched in stone that they can come up from anywhere and start a business and become successful.
You can't. So you mean to
With
tell
the
me there was
tax
no
breaks and things like that,
there
so
was
you
no
can keep your
businesses when
business-
Bill
so you
Clinton
can
was
keep your
when
business
Bill Clinton was president and we
and
had a
not have to
surplus.
outsource your business
Wow.
out.
When Bill Clinton was president and we had a surplus. Listen, you're not rich in America if you're trillions of dollars in debt. All the money that you have ain't worth shit.
Wow.
$1 million. A French dude just came and bought my house and said,
Give
"Get
them the
out."
number again.
He came up with cash.
Man.
Get out of here. Because the dollar ain't worth shit.
Right.
The dollar still got to be worth. Even if you got $20 million,
That's
it's not
awesome.
$20 million anymore.
Exactly. Terri J. Vaughn.
Do you
as a
understand
woman-
that?
As a woman, how did Sarah Palin make you feel? Did she inspire
And
you?
I am
Did-
so pro-woman.
Talk
I
to
am
me.
so pro-woman.
Did you feel good about her being your vice president, potentially?
Well, absolutely not. I told you, I can't. I could not fathom that someone whose platform is to run that I'm a soccer mom. I'm a
pit bull with lipstick.
She's just relating
It's
to
going to
it.
be the vice president. Okay, that's not a way to win my
Man,
vote.
that's an after-school
I don't
special.
want-
You remember the after-school special?
Exactly.
Gang of hand puppets.
Mom, they said you're gonna be president. No way. I gotta get this food ready for the kids first.
Sarah Palin as president.
And then
There's a whole bunch of hand
Oh,
puppets.
I wish I had the codes to the nuclear. Where did I put those codes to the nuclear bomb?
In the cupcake.
Cookie jar.
In the cookie jar. 6 cookies plus 2 cupcakes.
Boom!
And the big
Have our budget.
The other thing that really turned me off during her speech is when she gave her closing statement and she made it such a big deal that they're fighting for freedom. And I'm like, you're
In
fighting
Alaska.
for freedom? Freedom for what, though? She's against abortion, the choice for me to have an abortion, the choice for if someone is raped, a little girl is raped, you don't want her to have an abortion. So how is that freedom? Freedom.
God's
what?
gotta take
But
care
then
of that
she's for the
woman.
death
That's
penalty.
not freedom. Exactly. That's
Gotta
not
take-
freedom.
And you're for the war.
You know what I don't like? I don't like
So
when they.
she's pissed me off by
Well,
that.
you know what I don't
call
like?
Her a bitch? You want to call her a bitch?
877-2-106-106 is the number to
Oh, I
dial
feel
if you
bad.
want to
Thank you,
get in
bitch.
on this conversation. If you agree with Terri J.
We're
Vaughn.
way left.
And she was
That's all
right.
I gotta say.
She is
Wow.
an expert
We're
in
left.
energy.
I'm a little towards the middle though, a little bit in some things. Like I believe in prayer in schools.
I do too.
I believe in prayer in schools.
I believe in prayer
You
in
know why? Because when we had to pray in schools, it was a certain amount of calm.
It was a
and
calmer
certain
environment, yeah.
calm environment, and I believe in prayer in schools, regardless of what
Everywhere.
you pray to. You know, what do gay people pray to? God too?
I can't say the joke.
Booty calls.
Jesus.
He's on the cross backwards.
But for whoever wanted to have their prayer, gay prayer, straight prayer, Hindu, Buddha, Jewish, Christian, whatever you want.
But even on the gay marriage, a rep, she said she would tolerate. But she kept using the word tolerance.
Exactly.
Right. There was a
That
tolerance.
She's gonna tolerate
Yeah.
gay people.
Well, I mean,
She didn't say
hey,
I would accept
Or
gay
she was
people.
for or against.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have
Well, and we have a
Jerome.
huge gay following on our radio, so we just want to let y'all know We accept you here at the Foxxhole Radio. As a matter of fact, you make me feel my body real. You make me feel body real.
Where's that
Make me feel.
Make me feel.
Body real.
Body real.
Make me feel.
Body real.
Body real.
Body real.
Keep on following.
Just want to keep on following us, gay people. We love you.
Wow.
Just go out and just go style somebody's hair right now.
Oh my God.
Just go do somebody's do a drive-by makeup.
And what a treat for us to have a gay Republican here with us today.
We have a gay Republican.
Really quick, let's get a word from our gay Republican guest.
Really quickly, let's go to our phone caller here. Jerome from Pittsburgh. Chime in on us.
Jerome from the 412.
From the
Woody. Hey, what's up, y'all? How y'all
What's happening, brother?
Listen, she didn't say much in that debate. She just espoused a lot of facts and figures and things that are available to the general public on the internet. Other than that, she didn't really do anything.
Yeah, didn't you get the feeling that no matter what question they asked her, she was going to go right back to, I'm from Alaska.
Yeah.
Like, ask me a question.
Exactly. Exactly.
When is the next movie coming out?
And that,
Well,
and just
you know,
being from
it's
Alaska
funny you say that. They have theaters in Alaska.
Well, let me ask you this, Fox. What's your favorite fruit?
Well, if I can answer this.
Yes, you can.
I had fruit in Alaska. There's great fruit in Alaska.
It's already frozen.
It's already frozen.
Frozen in the snow.
Thank you so much, Pittsburgh.
Right, Jerome, this is a party, man. Thank you for calling in.
You have to admit she does. She is an expert in energy. The bitch got a lot of energy. That's for sure.
She was trying to break down that energy thing. The only thing I heard was H2O equals water.
Wow. Okay. Well, we can't have them all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just take a moment of silence for that joke.
Yeah.
I wish you could play back her nuclear.
A moment of silence for Louis Dick joke. Okay, we're back.
Right, we're going to Alaska. We're going to be in Alaska next week. I swear to God.
Her nuclear weapon answer, I wish you could play that back.
She didn't have no exit strategy for the war.
When she tried to answer for nuclear weapons, and she just talked for about 3 minutes, and I didn't know what the hell she was saying. I had no clue.
What is the word? Circumlocution, where you talk in circles? That's all she was doing.
You got me with that one. I just usually say she talking in circles.
We want to go to
I don't
another.
understand it.
You got me with that one.
So really quickly, we want to
Nigga creating words and shit.
You circumcised them low. What was that?
Circumcision.
Low circumcision. What was
There
that?
you go. We want to go to a
Got me
clip
with
really
that
quick. A clip of Sarah Palin again in the debate.
Oh, please. We need
actually,
more.
this is Biden. This is a clip of Biden. Clip number 3. Let's go there and see.
Is that
what
Biden?
Biden. Biden. Let's call him that.
Biden.
I come from a house full of school teachers. My grandma was. My dad, who's in the audience today, he's a school teacher, had been for many years. My brother, who I think is the best school teacher in the year. And there's a shout out to all those third graders at Gladyswood Elementary School. You get extra credit for watching this debate.
Extra credit.
But if you go back a little bit before that, that's when she mentioned about Biden's wife being a school teacher. She said she would receive a reward in heaven.
Right.
That was right before she just came out with this other bullshit she just said.
So the Palin way is they'll get extra credit just to watch the debate, but if she wins, they actually get a degree.
So Masai, this is a question to you really quickly. Brother, you have to be honest.
GED.
I mean, if you're watching this debate objectively, you have to admit this is a propped up papier-mâché candidate for the vice presidency. Don't you agree? I mean, just be honest. She was out of her league standing next to this guy, man. This guy was really sharp. Come on, be honest.
Be honest.
Don't be Republican. Be honest.
Ooh.
I'll get in touch with you.
Come on, Masai.
You know what? I like her. That's what I'm gonna leave it at.
But it's not about what you like.
Really?
But no. I think what it comes. I think
come in with all the experience in the world and anything. I mean, for your first time.
But you got to have something.
Come on, she was a governor of a state. Come on.
She was a governor of a state that's only 700,000 people.
Right.
It doesn't
matter.
matter.
Of a city that's only 7,000.
I got a great analogy for you.
Chicago got more people.
I got a great analogy for you.
The same thing that any other city has.
I got a great analogy for you. You ever see a great basketball player in the gym?
Kobe.
No. That's what I'm saying. In the gym, he's a great basketball on the courts in Venice. He's a bad motherfucker.
He's incredible.
Off the chain, right?
Right.
And there's something weird about when they actually try to play pro. They can't make the team.
Right.
You know why? Because it's just a different speed. Because at the same time, it's like this. A guy that's a pro who rides the bench is better than any court player, any pickup game player, and one nigga ever. That's what she is. She's a great player on her court. She only talked about things in Alaska, which is the only thing that she knew. Right. So I'll give you that. They told her this. Just talk about the stuff you know. And that's all she did was talk about what she has in Alaska. What she has in Alaska doesn't translate to what's going on in Chicago, what's going on in Inglewood. What's going, and not only that.
And when they win, you'll see what she can do.
Well, okay, maybe so. But what I'm saying is this:
you don't even know what Obama thinks.
But I'm in office yet. But I'm gonna ask you this. But I'm gonna ask you this: don't you think you would have a better go at it if you actually have seen somebody African American and talked to them? If you've actually seen a Hispanic, if you've actually seen a Chinese person, a Japanese person, a person from India, if you actually met people that are diverse. So what I'm
here to say he knows someone in Alaska.
So what I'm saying is this.
Who said that?
So what I'm saying is this. You may know somebody in Alaska, but who does she know? My thing is like this. How do you come to the rescue to those people who you've never seen, you never met, you have no idea of how they function? How can she, as a vice president,
I haven't heard anybody from Alaska complaining about her. So.
Oh my God! You haven't watched
people running against her. People running against her.
You haven't watched the television then, because they went to the city. They went to the city where she said she could see Russia. They didn't even know who she was. She's never even been there.
And there's some campaigns and there's some complaints in her town.
She ran the mayor.
But how can she relate to the average?
They got people protesting against her.
How's she gonna ever relate to the average person?
No one's perfect. You just got to accept some of the stuff that's being laid out here.
You're not saying that because then nobody asked her to be perfect.
It's amazing. He said nobody's perfect. But that's what we were trying to tell y'all about Barack when y'all kept riding him on everything.
Yeah, everything,
right? I mean, the white boy Flanagan who's Catholic. I mean, O'Reilly and Foxx and them were running every little thing that he did. They was like, that's not good.
What got me was one of the Republican strategists on CNN said that a professor or someone who's smart can't win campaigns, and it goes to the person who identifies with Joe Sixpack. Somebody who that Joe Sixpack, who's somebody who can have that you can have a beer with. Let me tell you something, my friend.
Hilarious.
Would you let somebody who you can have a beer with operate on you on an operating table?
Would you let him push the button?
I'm asking.
Drive the school bus.
Listen, she went to community college, dropped out 4 or 5 different community colleges. You're talking about a man who went to Harvard and a man who is not too much unlike everybody else. He's from a single parent home.
Won a state championship in Hawaii in basketball.
State championship in basketball. The man went to Harvard, and now we're supposed to believe this whole smokescreen that because you're smart, you're penalized?
Wow.
When I was growing up, being smart meant something. When I was growing up, you couldn't be going out with no girl like this that looks like her if you was making C's and D's. Right. Being smart actually meant something. Being able to go to college, to go to Harvard, a black man going to Harvard, that is supposed to be heralded, as opposed to being heralded because of politics. They shit on it. That's embarrassing. Because what you don't
politics.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what you're doing, if it's like this, if it was somebody that I thought that was Democrat, that wasn't when Senator John Kerry ran, I said this motherfucker ain't got it.
He ain't got it.
He ain't got it. And I said to everybody, I said he couldn't win student council at my school because the thing about it was this: is that he just did not have it. You know, and when you have things like that, and you say, look, I admit that. What's incredible about Republicans, they don't admit anything. And that's why we're in the situation that we're in.
Accountability.
They don't admit that we're in a recession, and we've been in a recession for the past 6 years. They won't admit how bad things are because they keep playing politics, and this is what politics has got us to. And so what I think needs to happen is you need Barack Obama, because what Barack Obama does, he gives you a clean slate. He gives you a clean slate international. And if you know anything about your money, the only way your money is going to come up is that people from other countries are going to have to invest in America. When Barack Obama went over to Germany and 200,000 people showed up, that showed you something. That showed you that people are willing to deal with him. People don't want to deal with George Bush. They don't want to bring money over here. They don't want to come over here. They're like, let America fall by the wayside. And I'm going to tell you something that's amazing. Nobody thought that Rome would fall either. They were eating cake and healthy and eating off the land, and they fell.
And then it came.
Yeah. You are in a situation, if you look at what China is doing right now, if you know anything about politics, China is a beast right now. Yes. And we owe them how much money?
Yes. 500 trillion, I think.
They're a beast right now.
500 billion.
So when you talk about, I've only been to San Francisco, my friend, what I suggest you do with all of your money is go get a passport and go travel and then see what people are thinking.
Globalize your perspective.
Exactly. Because what's sad? Because what's sad is this. Because what's sad is this. Is that not just black people uneducated, white people uneducated in Des Moines, Iowa, in Nebraska, places that it's not their fault. They don't have passports. Less than 15% of Americans have passports. So they don't know the fact that internationally we need other countries in order for us to make money. That's what Bill Clinton did. He was great with foreign policy. He made people want to come to America and spend their money.
But he cared about the people too.
Yeah, but what America has done, we've alienated all these different countries outside of America, and what's happened to us? We're falling by the wayside. That's all I'm telling you. Is that, you know, you could be Republican all you want, but you got to own up. There's got to be some accountability, and I believe that's what's going to happen with this. Americans are going to get past the racial situation, and Americans are going to come out, and we're going to vote, and Barack Obama is going to be the president of the United States.
If we take off our Democratic hat, if we take off our Republican, if we just are just people, just you as a person, a black man, just who you are, no titles, and you look at McCain, who just like 2 weeks ago was saying that the economy is okay, that the job force is okay. How can you just as a person
misinterpreted what he was saying?
No, I'm not misinterpreting.
No, they spun it. They spun it.
I
didn't
he said what he said. Anything. He said that, and then living in our country now, like Jamie said, and we're almost in a fucking depression, and you can stand there just as a black man and think
Roland Martin looks a little bit like an
okay.
owl. Just a little.
That's okay.
Just a little.
I don't get it.
As a comedian, I just had to.
Barn owl.
Who are you talking about?
As a comedian, I just.
Oh, you talking about?
He should be on a limb.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you. Go on, finish.
So finish your point, Terry.
Nigga like he's always awake.
We gotta wrap in a minute.
Comedians, man.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm the only one on the mic that's not a comedian.
Go.
I'm not a comedian.
Finish.
Jesus.
No, you did. Go
But
ahead.
I'm just saying, like, how can you just look at the world right now? Just take away the Democrat. I don't give a fuck about that. I don't give a fuck about Republican. Just me as being a mother and being a wife, and I'm living in this country, and there's no way that I can vote for the people that are standing for what George Bush stood for. There's no way that I can continue to support people that have caused this country to almost go into a depression. That's crazy.
That's nuts.
That's absolutely
In 2008,
crazy. It's like you're insane.
Right. In 2008,
like you're an insane man.
8
He
years.
rolls with him 90% of the time.
I don't think
8
he's from
years
Inglewood.
and 8 years and
niggas
2
from
stolen
Modesto.
elections. Wow. So we got to wrap it up real quick. This has been a special edition of The Voice of Reason on the Foxxhole Sirius Satellite Radio, Channel 106. It has been absolutely incredible. I want to thank Masai, Jamie Foxx. Please send us out of here, man. Tell us what's up.
All I'm saying is this: is in this room, man. In this room, at the end of the day, we all Americans, man. No matter if you're Republican, you're Democrat, you're Independent. This is our chance in history to make things right, because I believe that if we don't make the right choice in this situation, we're going to hurt for a long time. Listen, tomorrow we will pick it up. Register to vote. Tell somebody to register to vote. The deadline is near for most of you, October 4th. So register to vote. It's Jamie Foxx. It's
Johnny motherfucking Mack.
It's
Terri J. Vaughn.
It's
LD.
It's
Michael motherfucking Colyar.
And it's
Equals finest. Masai.
hilarious.
Zoe Williams signing out on The Voice of
We outta
Reason.
here.
This was great. Peace.